This is Jewish Board Talk with Cherise Zeffert, only on 101.9 Chai FM.
So as you know, Israel was established in 1948 as both a Jewish and a democratic state. This dual identity has shaped the relationship between the religion and the state ever since. But it is a balancing act. With a Jewish homeland and a modern liberal state can be tricky. Recently, for example, several women's organizations filed a petition to allow women to take the same rabbinical ordination exams as men. Dafi Kremer, director of the Israel Center, was part of this case, and she's my guest now to tell me more. Dafi, thanks so much. I'm pleased to finally have you as a guest to my show. It's long overdue.
I know. Thank you for having me, Cherise. And we are colleagues at Beyachad. So I'm really privileged to be here with you this morning. And I would love to tell you about this court case.
Firstly, let's just talk about the contradictions between a Jewish state and a democratic state. For the whole, the two manage, alongside each other, and there's respect for both. But there are times when things need to be challenged.
Yeah. So I'll tell you about that a little bit. It's very complicated, and I don't know if in 10 minutes we can cover this complexity. But the Israel state, the state of Israel, was established in 1948, knowing that this is the only place for the Jewish people. So as such, and because our claim to this piece of land, it's actually based on the biblical promise. So obviously, it must be a Jewish state, okay? But there are. It's not so simple when it's also a democratic state. And Ben Gurion was very clever to state that this state will actually give full rights to all the citizens, okay, which we actually do, okay. For example, this is for another story, but I donated a kidney to a Bedouin citizen, okay. I actually said, I don't want to donate only for Jewish people. I would like to donate with any condition of gender or race, okay? So that actually shows you that Israel is not an apartheid state, okay? And I think I'm very proud to say that Israel is both democratic and Jewish state. But then there are clashes, okay? It's not so simple. And we have to be very clever how to operate it cleverly, okay? So one area is basically the marriage, okay? And we know that we want the people to get married by the Jewish law. And in fact, most of the people in Israel, if you don't force them, they're actually very happy to practice the Jewish law, okay? There was a survey long ago about what are the most celebrated Jewish holidays in Israel, and it's two. It's the Yom Kippur and Leil Seder, okay? There is no law in Israel that you must celebrate. You must fast on Yom Kippur, or that you have to celebrate, to get together with your family and friends and to remember what happened so many years ago in Egypt. But yet people just do that. They just practice it, So sometimes when you don't force, people are much happy to play the game, to do it. So I think that's one aspect of it. And we have to dance very, cleverly between the two. The other thing is that we dealing with today is the drafting, the law of the Haredi community. And when Ben Gurion actually did or created this status quo of state and religion, okay, how to play between those two aspects, he actually thought, and he was convinced by the Haredi parties or by the, some rabbis, that the Torah learning world it was vanished in the Holocaust. And it was devastating because so many big rabbis and big Batei Midrash and yeshivot just vanished, just disappeared with the Holocaust, with the 6 million people that we lost. So he thought, you know what, we have to rebuild this yeshiva world. And he decided on like a quota of students, okay, Haredi students that will not join the army. But nowadays, we know that even the religious Zionists, they are so committed to the Torah learning, and yet they know that this is a time of war, and we have to fight for our rights on this piece of land. So I can tell you about my own son. He has PEOS, okay? He looks like Haredi. He's not. He's a religious, Zionist religious. But he actually dedicated his last 6 years, together with his wife and 2 sons, to the yeshiva, to the Torah learning. But just 3 weeks ago, he decided that's it. It's time to join the army.
I mean, you talk about the religious Zionists. I think religious Zionist soldiers are actually now the most powerful in the IDF. Am I right?
Yeah, 100%. We lost so many of our boys. I can cry from that, you know. So yeah. So the claim that they are not writers or they are not, it's like very sore, and we have to speak through this topic with the Haredi world to show them that this is the time for everyone.
Now is the time.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about this case, about women and becoming ordained in the same way as men for rabbinical thing.
Okay. So basically, the case wasn't for them, for the women, to become rabbis. Right. Okay. First of all, I have to give the credit to the people behind this case. Okay. Firstly and mostly, it's Rabbi Seth Ferber. And his wife, she's a Talmidat Chachamim. She's really like a high level Torah scholar. And Seth Farber, Rabbi Farber, is an Orthodox rabbi. He established ITIM, which is an organization to bridge between the Israeli society and the religious organization in Israel, okay, the religious institution in Israel, the rabbinical, the rabbinut, and the other system like religious council. You have in every municipality in Israel, you have religious council. So basically, he established this organization to get the secular people more closer to the Jewish system. And as we said before, when you force people, they are not so happy about that. So he realized that, and he established this organization some 22 years ago. He made Aliyah from the States, and one of the departments that he established in his organization was first of all, a call center to give like a support for many people that they get lost in the bureaucracy of the, when you, for example, when you get married, you have to prove your Jewishness, okay? So you have to bring like certificates and documents, and the big Aliyah that we are so blessed with from the former Soviet Union, from Russia, in the 19th and the 2000s. Many of them, not majority, I must say, okay? Something like, we had something like 1,200,000 people coming at once from Russia, from the Soviet Union, but 300,000 they were not Jewish. Okay, I mean they were not Jewish by the Jewish law. They were entitled to make Aliyah by the law of return. So they have big time. They have problems. Okay, to show their Jewishness. Okay, to prove that they are Jews, and also the other let's say 900,000. That made Aliyah, and they are entitled to get married as a Jewish people. Okay, they are Jews by law, by halacha. They actually couldn't prove that because they had no documents. No chuppah was allowed in the former Soviet Union. So it's a big thing. So this organization, together with Tzohar, they both like helping those people to get married as Jewish people. But the other department of ITIM is a legal department, okay? And my friend Elaskat, together with other friends, they were running this case, okay? And they realized they kept themselves very distant from the ordination, okay? They didn't want to claim for women. It's Orthodox organization. They didn't want to claim for women to become rabbis, okay? But they realized that there is a big discrimination. And in fact, they started from before they even apply for the High Court, they realized, they asked for, I don't know if you say it in English, request, freedom of information requests, okay? So you send the public organization that you want to get the numbers of how many, for example, they send it to the rabbinate, and they also send it to a few ministries, governmental ministries like the Ministry of Education, the Interior Ministry, and they ask to know, from one hand, from the rabbinate side, how many people passed or was through this system of the exams, okay? How many examinees? And from the other hand, they wanted to see, okay, how, like, what people are doing with these certificates, okay? So they realized that many people, like thousands, every year, like they get, or throughout the years, they get to these exams, but only 1% of them is actually finish and become a rabbi.
Absolutely fascinating. We're going to take a break, and afterwards we're going to look at what was decided and the process that was behind it.
This is Jewish Board Talk with Cherise Zeffert, only on 101.9 Chai FM.
And I'm talking to Dafi Kremer, director of the Israel Center, about the case that saw women being allowed to ordain not as rabbis, but to learn the same text. Tell me about the process.
Okay. So we actually saw, when we got this information from the rabbinate and also from the several ministries that we applied to, that the rabbinate actually issues hundreds and even thousands of other certificates, okay, that are not related to the ordination, okay, and on the same time, like things like certificate, okay, and transcript and list of subjects and marks, okay, in the process, okay. So, and on the other hand, we also saw that many of these people that acquire these several certificates from the rabbinate, they go with these certificates to the Ministry of Education, for example, okay, and they are entitled for benefits, okay, they're entitled for high salary, they are entitled for to accomplish, like to accumulate these credits as for a bonus in the salary. Okay, so we understood that now we have a problem here, because and that's why we actually gathered together with few high Torah scholars like Rachel Keren and Michelle Farber that I mentioned before, Avital Engelberg and others, and together with a team we appealed for them, because these women, they are, never mind that they are Torah learners and they don't make any money from that. They also cannot have any advantage by passing the exams,
Yeah.
They were not allowed to pass the exam. The rabbinate opened these exams only for men. And we saw that, in fact, a public organization, a governmental organization that get budget and get money and get funds from the government, it's insane that it's actually blocking the woman. It's like half of the society of the population is blocked, and the resources actually are not getting to all of them. And it's not not only blocked, but it's they can't get to the exams and then get not to become, as I said, not to become a rabbi, but just to apply to a tender. Okay, they can become, with their halachic knowledge, Torah learning knowledge, they can apply to be, let's say, the head of the mikveh department. Okay. It's not, they have the knowledge, okay, but they couldn't get to the, apply to the tender, because the tender, one of the conditions was to pass
this exam, which only meant.
Yeah.
It's incredible work. It really is. And now it's passed. It's passed.
It's passed.
So it's a huge victory for you and your colleagues.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm not there anymore because I'm here, Shlicha, in South Africa, but I was very happy to see that it passed. And in fact, how it passed, the Rabbanut actually kept telling us that it's only for rabbis to become like rabbis of cities, but we showed them that the numbers are different, you know. So that's it. And I just want to mention, okay, if I'm allowed to, not about this previous experience of mine, but about the current position. So very soon, on the 14th and 15th of September, we're having the Aliyah Expo, and please register.
Absolutely. Please do register. And it is, I know you bring out the best of the best of the best to allow everybody an opportunity to see what is available in Israel. Dafi, you are definitely going to be my guest before you go back home again. So it was lovely having you, and I look forward to seeing you again.
Thank you.
Just before I say goodbye, Discom Wellness Clinics for Adults offers convenient and professional care to help you manage health risks. Whether you are having your regular wellness checks, such as blood pressure or cholesterol, Discom Wellness Clinics offer you a broad range of health screening services, including female health screening with pap smears, family planning, and pregnancy screening. Fast, affordable, and with care. Find your nearest Discom Wellness Clinic inside Discom pharmacies. Better health starts here. Thanks to all of you for joining me. Thanks to Craig and Peterson for putting the show together. If there's anything you'd like to comment on, you're always welcome to send me an email on Charisse@sajbd.org. Otherwise, until next week, I wish you all Shabbat Shalom.